In this video, we are going to be looking at procedural justice and substantive justice. First, we will look at procedural justice. As the name suggests, this kind of justice gives priority to procedure. It holds that if the procedure used to arrive at a decision is just, then the outcome is also just. It is important to note that the decision that is arrived at or the outcome of the proceedings is not subjected to the test of justice. The justness of the outcome or decision is not scrutinized. What is most important is that the procedure laid down by the law is followed. I repeat, what is most important for procedural justice is that the procedure laid down by the law is followed. If the right procedure is followed, then procedural justice is said to have been achieved. That is, if the right procedure or the established set of rules is applied to any situation to arrive at justice, then the outcome is also automatically assumed to be just. Procedural justice is the basis behind the legitimacy that is lent to rule of law. Procedural justice is also known as formal justice and loosely termed as legal justice. The fairness of the procedure that is used to arrive at the decision is considered to be self-evidently just. I repeat, the fairness of the procedure that is used to arrive at the decision is considered to be self-evidently just under procedural justice. If the procedure laid down is unjust, then the procedure or the set of rules can be changed under substantive justice. Clearly, formal equality lies at the center of procedural justice. The procedure to arrive at an outcome needs to be applied uniformly to everyone, irrespective of gender, race, religion, caste, ethnicity, etc. Hence, law needs to be applied impartially to everybody for the outcome to be fair. I repeat, law needs to be applied impartially to everybody for the outcome to be fair. Moreover, procedural justice also follows the dictum innocent until proven guilty. I repeat, procedural justice also follows the dictum innocent until proven guilty. It is also clear that proponents of procedural justice are in favor of retributive justice to implement the outcome. Moreover, they also understand that sometimes the procedure may be wrongly applied. Hence, the system of appeals exists. If a lower court of justice has wrongly applied the procedure to arrive at an outcome, the defendant may appeal to a higher court to correct it. This concludes our discussion on procedural justice. So, the most important thing to remember in procedural justice is that the procedure needs to be followed for a just outcome to be had. Now we look at substantive justice. Procedural justice gave no room to question the outcome of the laws applied. What if the laws were by themselves unjust? What if the procedure that was used to arrive the outcome was unjust? This is where substantive justice comes in. Substantive justice examines the content of the law that constitutes the procedure used to arrive at the outcome. That is, substantive justice examines the content of the law that constitutes the procedure used to arrive at the outcome. The very justness of the law is questioned under substantive justice. Substantive justice is also known as concrete justice. Let us look at an example. A thief steals a wallet in a crowded marketplace. He is apprehended and brought before the courts. The court examines the evidence and awards him a sentence of 14 years. Now, the correct procedure has been followed, hence procedural justice has been served. However, 14 years of imprisonment for a simple theft of wallet is tremendously excessive. Under substantive justice, we question that law which prescribes 14 years for a simple theft. I repeat, under substantive justice, we question that law which prescribes 14 years for a simple theft. We try and correct such a law that is clearly unjust. The unjustness of the law is questioned and set right under substantive justice. There are many such examples. For example, laws that prohibit same-sex marriage is also another example of law that is incorrect or unjust. It is also clear that substantive justice is a normative concept. It begs the question, what is just? Should the punishment for theft be 1 year or 3 years or 5 years? Clearly, substantive justice is subjective. We have already seen that justice is a subjective concept and it evolves over time and is subject to the consciousness of the society. This holds true for substantive justice as well. In Patrick Delvin's view, law is based upon the moral values of the average citizen. I repeat, in Patrick Delvin's view, law is based upon the moral values of the average citizen. Consensus laws are one which conform to commonly held standards of fairness or justice. I repeat, consensus laws are the ones which conform to commonly held standards of fairness or justice. There are laws which in Delvin's view people are prepared to put up with. Substantive justice must revolve as largely as possible around consensus laws. I repeat, consensus laws are the one which the general public is prepared to put up with. Substantive justice must revolve as largely as possible around the consensus laws. Of course, Delvin's view is widely questioned. In the modern society, there are hardly many topics of importance upon which there is universal agreement in the society. Modern societies are largely pluralistic, and pluralistic societies carry a wide range of opinions. To get everybody to agree on a certain subject becomes nearly impossible.
This concludes the video. Thank you.